Welcome back to theCUBE's live stream here in San Diego for FinOps X 2026. Where we're unpacking how cost and value creation work and what does it translate to? Does it move the needle? Does it drive margin, revenue? Who was involved? Tokens are involved. AI is changing the game, but costs are exploding, and now it's time to rein in the chaos. Hunter Harris is here, Director of Cloud FinOps for Pegasystems. Welcome to theCUBE.
Thank you guys, happy to be here.
Yeah, let chaos reign and then rein in the chaos. It feels like token economics has done that, and now it's like, okay, we see value creation happening. How do we instrument it? What's the cost? What did it tie back to?
Yeah, I think a big part of what we did is we were very big on KPIs before the AI economy came. So we were able to show, hey, what is our cost per customer, our cost per environment, map it back to every microservice that we had, what cloud provider was it coming from, what product, what EC2 instance type. So we really understood our costs and can then break it down for our total cost per whatever, what each layer was. When AI came in, we had that structure already, so we could fit it in and figure out, well, why is cost going up or down? Yeah. What do we need to do to get to our target revenue? What are the things we need to optimize?
What was the learnings from that? Because you guys did the work cloud, you had to know all the mechanisms. Like you said, you had the layers nailed down. Okay, you started to do it. What changed with AI? What was the big factor, and what did you have to adjust for?
Unpredictability, a lot of the time, right? Just like, generally speaking with cloud, it can scale up to a certain amount. AI, it can more or less scale infinitely until the CSP runs out of capacity. We haven't had any runaway like that, but the only thing that's predictable is that it has been very unpredictable in many ways. Yeah. So with us, a lot of it was like, how do we classify our AI spend? Where is it going? Is it for internal productivity? Is it for our customers and products that we're building? Is it experimentation? We had to put it through that lens.
And so that's an interesting point. I've been asking this question kind of throughout the day. When you mention experimentation, you mentioned productivity, optimization, understanding the cost, what it all means. Let's unpack that, because that matters, right? A dollar is not equal to a dollar is not equal to a dollar.
Exactly.
Right? And like when you look at innovation and experimentation, that should be weighed probably less than production.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to what are the company initiatives, right? Like, generally speaking, we want to be introducing AI to our products. We want to be unleashing value in our engineerings with agentic engineering skills, but understanding what we're doing in each one of those. So agentic engineering, we wanted to innovate. We gave all the tools available, let's go at it. Initially, there weren't great budget constraints around it, so we're having to put user limits on. Maybe there weren't limits on what models you could use. You get different value out of different models. A lot of that is just bringing the visibility in. Executives are asking the right questions. We're all learning as we go, but like being able to map it all back instead of saying, hey, the bill went from this to this, classifying how it did that, showing what it was, why did it happen?
Absolutely, and when I think about what you're saying, there's a number of approaches to get there, right? There's 100 roads to get to the same destination, right? And you picked one, right? And it could be, you could do it yourself, or you could partner with somebody. Yes. Now, you kind of went down this road of figuring things out. How did you get to, take us on that journey?
Yeah, a lot of it, we had the FinOps platform in place already that we built ourselves. We knew the data, so we already had most of the data there. And we were seeing what it was happening, which accounts it was happening in, who owned those accounts. We could tell the original story, but more of it was, why is it happening? What are you guys doing?
Right.
What is the context of this? We knew which ones were our customer accounts, which ones were our R&D accounts, which VPs owned those R&D teams. So we had that, but then the inference of but why?
Yeah,
right?
so the red, yellow, green dashboard wasn't good enough.
It wasn't good enough. We knew the models, how they were changing and everything else, but then it also becomes, why are you using this model instead of that?
Yeah.
Again, that's a lot of what this conference is about now, is how do we get in control of that now? And there's great people out here trying to figure that out, and maybe we're getting into the period where build your own we're not going to be able to keep pace with what the tools are doing.
I agree. So how did you figure out the why?
The why was us using AI too, honestly, training our own agents to say hey, we've been doing it ourselves. Let's train the agents on what all these tables mean in our data, and then be able to question it and build automatic dashboards, release that to analysts to unleash them, give it to engineers. They can start asking the questions from the data instead of asking us all the time, because we're a rate limiting factor, right? So we're calling it agentic analytics, is what we decided to do. We have the agentic engineering side. well, let's bring the data into it as well.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are talking about the agents, the decisions they have to make. We hear on the main stage here, model routing. You're starting to hear kind of like, deep tech, like tech talk in a FinOps crowd. And of course, open source is highly technical, but you're getting at the business intersection now of business.
Yep.
So like decision making. That could be which Pareto curve to use. Where we were talking on X earlier about premium tokens. It sounds like, you start to see quality of service. These are systems problems.
They are, but I think it's a conversation problem. Like I've always said, FinOps, they need to be a Rosetta Stone. You have to be able to translate everyone's language. You have to be able to talk to an engineer, or a support engineer, or a salesperson, or a product engineer, or an ops person, and get everyone on the same page. That's why I think we've been successful. It's like my previous life, I did all those things. I ran cloud for a fintech company, and I knew how to talk about these things in context to drive business value. What we did too is like, we're not just talking about the cost per environment, we mapped it all back to revenue at the contract level, so we could see really like, what is the margin of every single customer, and then what is the overall contribution margin of our cloud.
So you basically built a contextual engine on your system to do that translation.
Across everything.
So that pays dividend. You did that before AI came in.
Exactly. So we knew when the AI spend started coming in, we have to tag things differently. Not all AI can be tagged, but we had at least the inference of everything else to say, okay, oh, here's Bedrock charges coming in. Well, how is that coming in? What is it actually doing? How concerned do we need to be about this now? And what is the scale in the future?
How much of focus applied to this kind of equation?
So focus is something we still want to implement.
Okay.
But like, truthfully, like we're across many clouds. We're now using the AWS European Sovereign Cloud and everything. We're waiting for some of the functionality to catch up.
Gotcha.
We still want to do it. We're planning to do it all, but we need it all to be on par. We need that parity, because it all flows into all of our processes, whether it's rate optimization, usage optimization, allocation. I would love to have one data set, one schema, to push it all through. It would be great.
Okay, so I have to ask you, like, this is like a real-time riff consulting session. Say I'm a CFO.
Yep.
But I'm an operational oriented. There's two types of CFOs we're seeing in our research.
Ours is an operational CFO.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I am a guardian of the books on one hand, that's the way we do it, here's your budget. Then you see more COO kind of behavior. They want real time. So what comes out of this community? Because right now we're still in the emerging stages of multiple adjacencies converging. Yep. But FinOps, I think, will ultimately point to resulting benefits to the CFO and team to manage their business. What would you be advice to me? What do I do?
Understand your data. Like, you have to connect all of this into a data model, whether it's, it's not just cloud cost data, it's your operational data, it's your support data, it's your product data, it's your bug data, it's your revenue. If you can actually have all of that come together, you can tell real stories about how the business is performing, and then make much more accurate forecasts and budget decisions and predict, right? Like, sales forecast is very difficult, right? It's very, very difficult to forecast revenue. But if you have trust in the underlying operational metrics, you can set more guardrails around, hey, this is where the confines of our upper bound and lower bounds of everything.
So operational systems become a critical plumbing.
They do.
Even in forecasting, like say sales.
It is, yes.
So you can actually apply AI to it. Okay, so how are you guys thinking about AI in your platform, and how are your customers thinking about AI as an augmentation?
Yeah, I mean, historically Pega, it's a rules engine, it's a workflow, everything else. Like, you've worked with some of the stuff we've done, right, with Blueprint and other things. It initially was a sales tool.
Right.
Customers can come in, describe an app that they need, and it would generate it on the fly, which is awesome. Yeah. It's a great way to sell. Now we're taking it and building it into the platform. So in existing customers of ours, if they're on the latest version, they have all these workflows and everything else. They can now use AI to augment those workflows, change them and everything else. That's huge for our customers, taking out the complexity of consulting and everything else.
What's the coolest thing you've seen come out of the work you guys done?
I mean, honestly, being able to demo our system on the fly is huge. Like, if you think of any salesperson, you can go and I could say like, oh, I'm in San Diego, I want to build a surf shop and rental of surfboards and everything else, supply chain, marketing, everything. be able to describe what you want and have AI go and build the application for you, build a call center to take in routes, have a mobile app, all of it on the fly in seconds. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
when
insane.
You think it's awesome.
Who are you disrupting with that? Because that means like basically the supplier network, the service providers, all collapse.
It's modernization is what it is. All these legacy apps.
I was going to say it's an ecosystem too.
It's an ecosystem. Having a platform to build all of that around where you can just describe it, you can take old schematics of what those workloads were, feed them in as an attachment, and have it build your app on demand and have something to demo and just go. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fast.
Like, yeah.
Well, I'm psyched. What do you think about the show here? Obviously, it's a transitional time.
Yeah.
We got the new foundation for tokenomics, which is a nice separation you talked about earlier, but what's the future look like? Because I really see the FinOps becoming much bigger and broader. Again, the C-suite will be impacted. Not that the JR should like call on CFOs to come here, but like this body of community will generate value that will spin directly to the doorstep of the CFO, the CHRO, CISO, and CIO.
Yeah, I mean, originally it was all cloud value, right, is what it was, and then it was technology value, and obviously AI is technology, right? It's been great for us because we had the framework, people trusted us already. As AI has gone, I'm not going to say off the rails, but as it has grown, it's like, well, who do we trust with it? We had the foundation there, the business trusts us already, that's natural. I think a lot of what we're trying to do now is take it beyond just the concept of cost, but drive into value, which is, again, a huge theme here. Taking it, being able to talk to our chief product officer, look at, hey, what is our output, our engineering teams? What did it cost? What is the cost per bug? And resolution, how much code is being checked in? All of that is there. We have the foundation to do that now.
Hunter, final question for you. What's changed the most in the past year in this community?
I think expectation, which is great. I think it is, like, for us, again, we had the data and everything else, the expectation that it will be immediately available, adaptable, et cetera. We had that. It's just the speed at which we do it. And I think it's confusing sometimes around, well, how should we do it? Do we trust AI to do everything for us? Everyone's still figuring that out. What do you offload to an agent versus what do you do yourself?
And it's a know, like, trust thing, right? I mean, you have to trust it that's going to do the right thing. Until then, there's a human in the loop.
Yeah, and again, like the changing in going to token-based consumption versus like a per-user thing, it's a huge shift in the past few weeks for everyone.
Yeah, it's a great time to be an engineer, great time to be an AI builder, great time to be interested in real-time data.
Yes.
Hunter, thanks for coming on theCUBE.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you.
All right, I'm John Furrier with theCUBE, and Paul Nashawaty doing our part here at FinOps on the ground, getting all that, unpacking. This is the future. The cost equation is instrumental because the value creation is happening. ROI, all these calculations driving the value proposition needs to be nailed down. That's what they're doing here. We're doing our part to bring you the content. Thanks for watching.